Hey everybody, it's David Pingree for Upshift Online. We've got our KTM Adventure 790R here today. New model, very cool bike. And one of the first things you want to do when you get these things is make sure that your rider compartment area and your controls are set up for you. And there's a lot of little details on here that some people ignore and don't really dive into. So we want to make sure we help you get this thing set up and super comfortable for you. One of the first things you want to do is make sure your handlebars are set up right. And KTM did a great job of giving you a lot of options. So there's 3 positions for the handlebar mounts here, a center, and a back, and a forward. It'll come in the center position, or it should. And then these clamps also spin around and give you another option. So there's 6 different bar positions here. And you want to make sure that you're just in a comfortable, strong position when you're sitting on the bike. It doesn't feel like the bars are back in your lap. It doesn't feel like you're reaching out too far for them. So that's going to vary from rider to rider based on your height and your length of your arms. So just get on the bike, make sure it feels comfortable, and don't be afraid to play with these adjustments. Once you've got your handlebars set up, the next thing is to make sure that your brake and clutch lever are in the proper position. This again is going to vary from hand to hand. If you've got a longer hand, simply push the brake out and dial this thing in or out. And this is going to push the lever out or bring it in for you. You want it out far enough that it doesn't smash your knuckle when you pull this in, but you don't want it out so far that it's a far reach for you. So try to find that happy medium. Make sure it's, again, comfortable for your own hands. Once you've got your lever positioning adjusted, we want to now think about up and down with it. So a good baseline, just a standard starting point, is to draw a line from the tip of your finger to your elbow. If your fingers are pointed up like this, or they're down to get to the lever, adjust it so that it's more of a straight line from the elbow to the tip of your finger. It just makes it a more comfortable position to grab from. Another thing you want to check is go ahead and stand up and make sure that it's still comfortable at that point. If, again, it feels like it's too high or you're reaching down too low to get it, make an adjustment. Try to find something that's neutral, centered, and comfortable for you. Now we want to move over to the clutch lever side, and we've got 3 adjustments over here we want to talk about. The first one is up and down. Again, find a nice neutral position to where from the tip of your finger to your elbow is generally a straight line, easy to grab. Then the second thing you want to do is adjust in and out. So for me, this is a little bit far, so I'm going to go ahead and spin this thing, this dial here, and it's going to bring it closer to me until I find that spot that's nice and comfortable about right here. Okay, I like that. I can grab it with all my fingers or just use that to shift gears. Now, the third adjustment is very important. This is something that a lot of people miss. You need to have 5 millimeters of free play here. So you can see before I get any tension on that cable, I've got about 5 millimeters of play. If you don't have that, if this comes loose and this backs out, and you can see here I don't have really any play before I'm getting tension, you will fry your clutch, and you don't want to find yourself out on the road with a fried clutch. So we're going to just dial this back in. Again, this comes loose, this spins in, and we get ourselves about 5 millimeters of free play there before that thing is engaging, and that's the right spot. Tighten down this wheel, and that's all set up. Now I've got it in the right position, I've got the right amount of free play, so I'm going to protect my clutch, and I'm ready to go. The next thing you want to adjust here is your shift lever, and this is a critical piece as well. There's a couple things on here that make this a little bit tricky. You want to make sure you don't get wrong. A good standard point to set this thing up, if you're not sure, is just having this pretty much level with the foot peg. So if you lay something flat across this peg, you're going to come kind of right center or bottom of the shift lever. That's a good kind of general neutral starting point for everybody. One thing that we want to make sure that we don't do, if you lift this up, you're going to start moving the sensor that operates the quick shift. If we get too far out of adjustment there, you try to lift this too high, this won't operate correctly. So we want to make sure that we are careful of that. To adjust this, there are a couple little things we want to do here. You got to loosen this nut, okay, and this is a normal thread 10 millimeter bolt. Now this one, if you look, there's a little groove in the center of it, and that just indicates that it's reverse thread. So you're going to actually turn it as though you're tightening it and loosen that up a little bit. At that point, you can take an 8 millimeter and just adjust the position of your shift lever by moving this up or down. Okay, and again, if you adjust it too high up or too far down, you're going to throw this out of position so that this won't work correctly. So just be conscious of that. You can adjust this, like it does have quite a bit of range up and down, but just make sure you don't go so far that this is out of position. Once you've got it in the place you like, just be sure you lock these down, again with the 10, and this top one is reverse thread. Bottom one's normal. We're just going to snug that up. And then hop on and make sure that everything feels comfortable to us. And like I said, we just want to make it easy to get under and also easy to reach onto the top, just nice and neutral and comfortable for your riding position. We move over to the right side of the bike and we're going to adjust the foot brake. So again, a good starting point for this is just something that sits flush from the top of the foot peg to the top of the brake. So this is set up in a nice position now. However, again, it's all personal. So if you like a lower pedal, a quick, easy way for this to adjust, there's 2 Torx bolts right here that come out, they're countersunk, and you flip this thing over and it actually drops it lower. So if you want it 5 or 6 mil lower, just flip this thing over and you've automatically got it lowered. So it does have some adjustability here. If you like a wider foot peg, you can go into KTM's Power Parts catalog and they do have a wider foot peg platform that you can order for these.